This is an example of a vamp that is used as a little intro, outro, can be used in thousands of songs. And the reason I brought it up today is because we're going to take a look at Over the Rainbow, pretty much the way Eric Clapton did it in a live version where he's kind of strumming these jazzy chords. And this really came about because a couple days ago a friend of mine asked me about putting together, he'd been working on it in the key of E, and I thought, oh, I got to put together a little jazzy arrangement in E. And then I remembered, wait a minute, Clapton has a jazzy arrangement in E. So I went and checked it out, and this lesson is going to be 90 to 95% of the way Eric played it. We're not going to talk about the leads at all, we're just going to talk about the progression, and it uses a lot of chords, but only a couple of different kinds. We're going to have a few unusual things. We're going to see some augmented chords, some major sevens, some dominant sevens, some dominant ninths, some minor sevenths, maybe even some minor 7 flat 5s. In fact, we're going to see all of those, now that I think about it. So, and anything else? Maybe an 11th. Got it? Anyway, coming up, first we'll talk about the chords, but the big thing you got to be able to do is that little vamp. E major to C sharp 9, to F sharp minor 7, to B9. So F sharp minor 7 would be chord 2 in the key of E, and B9 would be chord 5. So it's our dominant 9th chord. And the only other chord in there, in that little vamp, is C sharp 9, which is acting as a dominant chord, chord 5, to the F sharp minor 7 that's coming up. So we've got a 5 of 2 here. And we're going to see a lot of that. 2s and 5s in just kind of working their way in a little musical cycle. So, first we'll look at the chords, then we'll just talk about the progression. Relatively short lesson, and should be really fun if you can play some bar chords and the mysterious or elusive 9th chords. We're going to see all that in Over the Rainbow. The first thing you really got to kind of have a grip on to play this progression is minor 7 chords played with the root on the 6th string. So this would be out of the E minor 7 shape, and here I'd be a bar at the 2nd playing F sharp minor 7 with my 3rd finger just on the 4th fret. So we're going to see this minor 7 chord played all over the place in this song, mostly at the 2nd, 4th, and possibly even the 6th fret. We're going to see minor 7ths out of the A family as well, which would of course look like this. Here would be a B minor 7, and of course the root on the A families is going to be on the 5th string. So minor 7ths are really important here. The other big chord we're going to see, family of chords, is 9th chords. Now, if you think about B7, this is a standard open B7 chord. B, D sharp, A, an open B on the 2nd string, and an F sharp on the top. Well, to turn this into a 9th chord, we would need to add the C sharp on the 2nd string, either with our 4th finger and restrict us to just playing those 4 notes, or flattening out the 3rd finger across the top 3 strings. This is a really, really useful chord, and if you're not yet comfortable with it, I suggest getting comfortable with it. B9, C9, C sharp 9, E flat 9. The root would always be the note on the 5th string. Now, one of the things that Eric does in this is he frequently plays this chord with these 2 fingers, and a lot of times when you do that, you'll use your 4th finger to mute the 1st string, so it's a little bit dead, because I've got it on a little sloppy. Now, he doesn't always worry about it. Sometimes he just lets that open string ring on the B9, which would actually give us a chord we could call B11 if we wanted. And I've got that in the chart. But sometimes when he plays it even at C sharp, you hear the open E ringing. And so you could choose to do that or not as the song goes on. Now, the other couple shapes that are really important are